I'm sorry, it has not just yet. The Virgo will start after next month, sometime next month, and that's going to be after the 20th, usually. Usually, now we're going to talk about the Virgo energy, and I'm telling you, we're going to get really heavily into that Virgo energy. Okay, so usually the dates of the Virgo usually will start after like the 20, will start after the 23rd. The Virgo starts the 23rd of August. Now, if you talk to some people will tell you the 20th. It all depends. It all depends if that kind of thing. So let's just use the purpose of 23rd of August through September the 22nd. Okay. So the Virgos or the Virgins. That's pretty funny, right? So they are what they call the goddesses of the architect of the growing of vegetation. Growing of vegetation. They are also inclined because I told you they are connected to seeing. You can't just not to say they're not feeling creatures or energies because they certainly do feel, they certainly do, but you have to show them you have to show them action. That's one of the things that they have in common with the Taurus. The Taurus, we like to not only hear you that you love us, but we want to feel it. So because the Virgo is an earth sign, they also like to feel, they like to touch, they like to know their energy, and their energy is very, very important. So if their heart is not into something, they're not going to do it. Their heart has to be into something to do it. They speak logic energy. They are of materialisms, but at the same time, they're practical in certain energy. So if you show them a little attention goes a long way with them. Okay. Now, they're also they have their own approach toward doing things, and that particular approach is very, very important to them. They also have energy of weathering the whole earth. The whole earth is connected to their energy for them. And they also connect mostly with the planet of Mercury. Okay. And so that's something and they are communicative energy. So they're very communicative. They're very, you hurt me. I'm going to tell you, hey, you hurt me. That hurts. They also deal with processing of communication. They process communication. Now, a lot of times a Virgo may not necessarily always tell you in that moment, hey, that hurts. But at some point in time, they're going to tell somebody. So they might tell you that you're in the relationship with the particular Virgo, but they will tell somebody. Now, you may count more than somebody else, but for them, anybody that they can get a listening ear, they will complain and say this hurts to someone else. And they're also the perfectionist energy of the zodiac sign. They're very hell built on being perfectionists. Now, that's one of the things that the Scorpio also has in common with them, because they are perfectionists. Now, they don't really think they're perfectionists, but they are. They are. If you notice, if you ever look at Casino, and you remember Robert De Niro's character, Lefty, he said when he was talking about the slot machines, he stated that there's a right way and there's a wrong way, and then there's my way of doing things. And that is exactly who that Virgo is. The Virgo has their own way of doing things, and they have expectations on how it should be done. And if it's not done that way, it's going to be problematic. So a Virgo will not tell you how to love them. They just expect you to love them. So it's really confusing. So they want you to love them, but expect you to love them a certain kind of way. But they won't tell you. And they expect you to get it, right? Now, they are very sensitive energies. One of the things I think Virgos are really good at is being friends. They are probably the best friends of the zodiac sign. Again, if I were to have a friend, I would probably have a Virgo female. The problem with Virgo females, or the problem with a Virgo energy, because they talk. And sometimes they talk too damn much, and they tell the wrong people their business. And I find out that they tell the wrong people other people's business as well. And that's not saying they can't keep a secret. The problem is when they get mad at you, they will tell your secret. Or if they feel like, backstabbing you, they will do that. And they make pretty decent friendships. They make pretty good friendships. And they are very supportive, and they will certainly feel like you can do anything. They will definitely uplift you, like, girl, you can do anything. Boy, you can do anything. I see it. I see it. I see it. So they good in that respect. So let's give them credit. Now, they are gentle souls, but sometimes they can only be gentle about themselves as opposed to your feelings. When you're in a relationship with them, they're not as sensitive to everybody else's feelings unless they have that mirror. If you do, and I talked about that on prior videos, if you post a mirror in their face and show them this is how that looks and what you do to others, this is how that looks. So you would have to have a mirror to show them. It's more than, again, I told you they are seers. So you can't just do things and expect them to expect them to understand. You actually have to do. You can complain to them like, "Hey, I'm not happy. Hey, I don't like this. Hey, I don't like that. Hey, I don't like that." They'll still do it, unless it backfires in their face and they see what it is and they see how painful it could be done still. And then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, so that's kind of wrong." Okay, but sometimes they don't know it. Sometimes they're denied. They're deniers. They're like the supreme deniers in the zodiac sign. They're also workaholics. I think they have really good work ethic. They will stay on a job for like 1,000 years until forced to resign. They either have to retire or they have to quit. Or that person will fire them, or something comes along the way where they're shown this is a better position for you. Like if you or their mate, you're like, "Hey, honey, hey, guy, hey, girl, there's a better job for you over here, and I can get you in this position," and they will go for it if it pays more. But they about their money, and sometimes they're more about they're opportunistic. And the bad thing about them is they like opportunities for themselves. It's not a win-win for them, for everybody involved. It just will be a win for them. So they're kind of out for self. They're a little selfish. Now, a Virgo will 9 times out of time not leave you. You have to really do something very bad for them to leave you. Or you have to leave them. And still, when a Virgo really loves you, they're going to love you forever. Does that make sense? They will love you forever. I did tell you they were earth signs. I did tell you they are fixers by nature. They try to find workable solutions to make things happen. They always try to find a solution to a problem that a friend may be having. Okay. They will come in, and they're really good at coming into a company. They're really good at coming into a company and resolving an issue that the company has. So, like I said, they make good managers. They make good supervisors. They're excellent at that. They might even not be so. They might not even be bad at entrepreneurship. I don't think they're bad people as far as entrepreneurship, but I think relationships, they have, I think the women Virgos are better than the male Virgos. I think the male Virgos, everybody give the Leo the bad rap in being a player, but the Virgo is very much a player. The Virgo male. The Virgo female, it depends. Even on certain terms, a Virgo, a Leo female, even with a Leo female versus a Leo male. Now, it depends when you catch the Leo at a certain point in their life. But again, the problem is they always have somebody in picture who they have a pedestal over. So, for example, let's say they have a mama, or they have a grandmother, or if they have an ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, or the Virgo woman, she has a father, or uncle, or grandfather, or ex-boyfriend. And so they have this pedestal of what they feel like an ideal mate should be. They will have this person up on this pedestal, and if you do not match them, they're not going to treat you good. That's just point blank and period, because they're going to always be looking for that energy. And if they can't find it in you, they're going to try to find this person, 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 person, so on and so on in fact, they didn't went through a whole trial for females or males. Also, the Virgo is now. The thing about the Leo and the Virgo, what they have in common is they will take your woman or man. The Virgo will figure out what that person needs. They will play their friendship role. The Virgo is good at that. The Virgo is excelente at playing the role of a friend. And then they will work their way, ease their way into being your mate. Just like the Sagittarius. You know, they have man, half animal. So they would ease their way in to making themselves what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, they are on their energy. Now, I think a couple of other good things about them is that I think that they have a lot of great quality. I think they make the best teachers. Like, I think they will be great mentors. They'll be great teachers. So if they're in a coaching field, if they're a life coach, or if they are an actual basketball, football coach, they're really good at that. They will make really good editors because, like I said, they're perfectionists. They will also make, like I said, if they're a musician, if they happen to be a musician, they'd be really good at that. The one thing about the Virgo, and this is what I think is really great about the Virgos, they're great team. They're great. What is the word? They great teammates. And they really believe in team spirit, and they will really rally around the troops, and they really believe in camaraderie. And so that's what I love about them. They will really be great teammates. They really know how to motivate people to go to the next level. That's why I said they make good managers. They make good accountants, because they can find that zero. They will find out that zero. However, let me tell you something. They're not really good with money. Because like I said, the opportunity, so they will spend all their money on that brand new because they like to fit in with the Joneses. So they will spend all of their money on trying to keep up with the Joneses. They believe in fashion. Now they fashionistas, they can dress, they smell good. Like I said, they're Mercury, right? But however, they're not good at spending money. You have to really, I think if the Virgo has other signs to them, if they have like let's say that let's say that they are a Virgo, right? A Virgo sun and their moon is Taurus, then they will be able to save money. But they're not the best at saving money. I must be honest with that. Now, I know a lot of people will be mad, and Virgos are always in denial, and they very argumentative. They love to argue. They get turned on by arguing with people. Whereas the Taurus is not going to argue with you. Taurus be like, all right, then. You know what I'm saying? But that Virgo will constantly argue with you. Let's see what else. A couple of I kind of described a couple of, I'm trying to really be balanced when I talk about the Virgo, because I don't really think they're bad people. It's not a zodiac sign that I really met that I thought was the worst person. Just certain ones. And then the Virgo is supposed to be the nice guy or girl out of the bunch. They're very sensitive. They are very empathic, just like Pisces are very empathic. The Virgo and the Pisces and the Cancer will be off in the room crying some damn word, right? Taurus be looking at them like, why the hell are y'all crying? The Taurus and the Leo be like, y'all dumb. Why y'all crying? You have to have a reason, and for the Virgo, they don't really have to have a logical reason for crying, but they will find their way into somebody's tears. And for that's one of the things that you have to be understanding about the Virgo, is that they are really sensitive in that regard. So you have to, my little juice showing, I ain't want y'all to know my business, because some of y'all really knows it. But the Virgo is very prideful energies. Like I said, they don't never really like to admit when they're wrong until they get hit rock bottom. Some zodiac signs, like I would say the Pisces, are very sorry when they're sorry, right? The Virgo will have to hit rock bottom in order. The Virgo will have to hit rock bottom in order to be sorry about something, okay? They are obsessive energies. They're very obsessive. That's why I said they do love their families, but they demand, like I said, because they perfectionists, they demand way much more than what people can give them. Sometimes when they love, they're not realistic with their expectation. They expect you to give them the world, but they won't give you the world. They are very anxious. They have anxiety energy. A lot of times they always worry. People always call me when I'm doing something. They have very anxiety. A lot of anxiety over the simplest little things, just like the Pisces. Like I said, the Pisces and the Virgo really understand each other. They do like living beyond their means. They do that. They like nice stuff. I think now there's a snap to it, because some Virgos want nice things and they will save up to get it. Some of the other ones will just splurge and get it and fake the funk, knowing that they don't have shit, and they'll try to try to make it seem like they got stuff and they don't have shit. So that's the thing about the Virgo. There's different kinds of Virgos. There's the one that will work their way to get it. Like I said, they're hard workers, and there's the one that try to act like they will work their way to get it, but if they don't, if they will look at it in the window for too long, the money will burn a hole in their pocket, and they will end up just buying it, and regardless, and they will skip bills. They won't pay bills. They will lose the roof over their head just to keep up with the Joneses. Like I said, that's that kind of Virgo. Then there's the other type of Virgo that will dream about it. Virgos are dreamers, or just like I said, they have a lot in common with Pisces. They are dreamers, and they like to dream of this and this and that. And that's not saying that dreaming Virgo won't necessarily get it. That dreaming Virgo will work their way into get it, but it may take them longer, and they may transition over to the Virgo that works for it, right? And that will save to get it, but they'll get it. Now, it may be at the cost of them losing stuff, but nevertheless, they'll make it happen. They have a lot of their darknesses can come out at the wrong timing. The Virgo is his worst enemy, just like the Taurus. A lot of earth signs are like that. A lot of earth signs have the energy of them being their worst energy. Like, I am my worst energy. Can't nobody else do anything to me. Only me can do it. If I sustain to what you say that I am, or if I start to believe the dumb shit you say to me, then I can, and it's negative, then I can feed into it. The Virgo will feed automatically. If you say, you Virgo, you suck, they will think about it and be like, no, that's not true. And then when something happens, then they'll start dwelling on certain things and they'll start to believe it. They are also assholes. They are assholes. They are the asshole of the crew. They get the award of the asshole. See, when I said earlier about the Leo being an asshole, yes, he's the asshole. But the difference between the Leo's asshole-ish, the Leo is asshole-ish by nature. But he or she does not mean to be. That's just their conversation. That's just who they are. The Virgo is very sarcastic and just a bastard of the sign. Is the complete asshole. And the Virgo will be asshole-ish. And I think that the Leo is a likable asshole at times. I think the Virgo is they're the asshole with the twist. They're asshole with twists. Not saying they're not the likable part of the asshole, but they have a twist to them. If you catch the Virgo when he's an asshole or she, it can be likable or very much I hate you, likable. And then it could turn into I hate you, and eventually you start to like that Virgo, because that Virgo, if they like you, they'll try to wear their charms on you with their asshole-ish energy. Because they will argue to death, and after a while you be like, shut up, get away from me, and then you'll end up liking them a little bit because they'll end up being cool somehow. And they're also the life of the party. They like to live life. They are great at planning events. They're great at planning things to do. They criticize. They're very critical of everybody. Not only they're critical of everybody else, but they're also very critical of themselves. Like I said, they're the perfectionist. They spend way too much time trying to complete something, whereas something should have been done quickly a long time ago. They're very skeptical and paranoid about certain things. They can be wise people if they're in the right moment of being wise. But then at other times, not so much. Sometimes they're very, you can kind of talk them into doing things they don't want to do. They are very promiscuous as far as talking them into doing things. I don't mean sexually, but although some of them can be very promiscuous sexually, because sometimes they can be easily influenced sexually, and it can also be easily influenced on other levels. Like I was telling you about the job, if you talk them into working a different job, then you can do that. But for the most part, they are hypochondriacs too. See, whereas a Taurus is an extremist, the Virgo's not. They are intellectuals, some of them. Some of them. You can have pretty good conversations with them at times, but sometimes you may find that you're having the same conversation with them over and over and over again. It may evolve, but it'll be the same conversation. So if you talk to them about water when you first meet them, years later you will find out they're still talking about water, and maybe water, the texture of the water, the chemical of the water by now, because it has evolved. But they don't evolve as much as certain signs. A lot of signs, like the Leo will constantly evolve. You will see the Leo evolving like in minutes. The Virgo, not so much. That's not saying that they can't evolve, but it would just not be something that you can see outright. But pretty much, if you knew the Virgo in high school, they will pretty much be the same way that they are as in their adult elder years. Okay. Sorry, don't be mad at me. I'm just telling y'all. They're not an evolving energy. They have spurts of evolution. They're very vulnerable. They put their hearts on the sleeve. So see, that's when it comes to friendship. When it comes to friendships, for a Leo male and a Virgo male, for them to be friends, that's difficult because, like I said, both of them are assholes. But the Virgo is a different type of asshole than the Leo is a different type of asshole. The Leo will only listen to the Virgo whine for so long because Virgos are whiners. So if that Virgo whines so much, the Leo eventually is going to say, listen, guys, shut up. You look to grow up, like get your panties out of the bunch and let's move on. Right? You sit about that girl. The Virgo would be like, what did I do? I have feelings, man. Why are you talking to me like that? So that friendship, I think the best friendship for a Virgo, I find, are Pisces. I think Pisces are better for them. I don't think Virgo, I don't think Leos, that's not saying it can't happen, but I'm saying those relationships are very harder and they have to take breaks from each other. The Virgo and the Taurus have to take breaks from each other. It's friendship, relationship, stuff like that. Because the Virgo will get on that Taurus's nerves just as much because of that Leo Virgo will whine, and the Taurus will be like, "Look, if you don't like something about yourself, change it." We don't want to keep hearing about this, that, and we don't want to have the same conversation about the freaking water. We want to talk the evolution about this water. I don't want to talk about the water anymore. We talked about that 20 years ago. We talked about that 30 years ago. I have evolved, and we don't want to talk about that no more. How old are you? Girl, a boy. That's the thing about that. Because, like I said, they were selling their job for that long period of time. The Taurus will not stay on their job for that long. The Taurus will only stay on their job but the Taurus has to see progression. And the Taurus also, that's one of the things about the Taurus and the Leo and other zodiac signs, we like to see the evolution in something to evolve. We like things to evolve. The Virgo, like I said, like to live out as me. The Virgo will have a Mercedes versus the Taurus or the Leo may have the same car that they had 20 years ago. As long as it's paid off, they will put money into it. It probably look nice car. They will borrow the car, but they like to spend money on other stuff. The Virgo will spend money on everything. The house, the car, the yacht, the mansion, and all that. They will evolve in their regard materialisms, but on terms of conversation, they will have the same type of conversation that they had 20 years ago. They will be in the same job 20 years ago, unless they're being forced, either fired or, hey, this job no longer exists, you have to find another company, or their mate is like, hey, you've been working on that job, you're not advancing, come on, baby, let's step that up. I'm trying to think of another important, and another thing about being a friend or being in a relationship with them, like I said, they're very critical. And people are going to just tell them, shut up. Why are you so critical of me? I don't want to keep hearing about what I'm not doing. And what are you doing, though? What are you doing? What are you doing to make people, be happy? You're not doing anything. They pretty much now, they are good for having bed warmers. They're really good at that. Now, if they really care about you, they'll try to stay around. They will be there forever if they really care about you. Or you have something that is keeping them there, like a child, or y'all have a house together, a goat together, a monkey, something like that. But if they don't have anything with you, then they will try to get rid of you. And by all means, two Virgos, no, that will never work. Virgos do not work. I don't even really think Tauruses and Virgos work. I think that's a bad combination. I know a lot of times if you look and read in zodiac books, they will tell you that Tauruses and Virgos are very compatible. I think that's a bold-faced flipping lie. No. I wrote down some notes here. Most of this I have all this up top of my head, but I'm just trying to make sure I cover everything. They live in their head.